Pay close attention. Do not rush through this. Do not just ignore these words while your mind wanders to something else. Take a break. Take deep breaths. Hold still for a second, because what you are hearing now is not a mistake and is not normal. You are at a certain point in your life when I talk to you. Not too early or too late. Not long ago. You've asked yourself why some doors shut after you prayed for them to stay open. You've thought about why the wait seemed like it would never end. In a quiet or loud voice, you have asked if your fate was pointless. Please hear me right. It was all used up. Everything I do is based on a time frame. And that timing isn't based on people's emotions, clocks, or need to be quick. I was setting up events while you were counting down the days. I was planning how to answer your question while you asked why. Heaven was moving while you were still. Now is not the time to drift. Now is not the time to question what your spirit has already told you. There's already something going on. I'm speaking now because a lot of people lose focus right before they reach their goal. You're not as far away as you think. I saw how heavy your load was while you were quiet. I saw the times when you smiled for other people but were sad inside. I was there when your thoughts wouldn't stop at night, and when getting up in the morning felt like a battle. You asked about my strength, but I never asked about your endurance. At times you thought nothing was changing, but I was taking away things that would have caused you to be late later. Delays made it feel like they were rejecting you, but they were really to keep you safe. There were unfinished paths that kept you from bad things that you couldn't see yet. Do not think that silence means absence. Waiting for abandonment is not the same thing. Before I work in public, I work hard. Before I show results, I shape foundations. For what's next in your life, you need to be stable, clear, and mature, not hurried. You have become more patient because of stress. You have become smarter by going through disappointment. You're stronger now that you stayed when it would have been easier to leave. That's not being weak. That's getting ready. Now is the time to pay attention, because the enemy loves to use distractions at this point. Many people stray from the path when they feel like they're not making any progress, when they're tired, or when they hear whispers that other people are ahead of them. Not because they were not good enough, but because they stopped paying attention. Follow me. For what I have planned, you won't have to break down doors. It won't depend on changing things or taking shortcuts. There will be no doubt that I had something to do with it. When it does happen, even you will stop and realize that you could not have done it by yourself. That's why it's important to focus now. Now, your thoughts are important because of this. That's why keeping your heart safe is important right now. Do not think about past mistakes. Do not talk about old things again. It's not up to yesterday to decide what tomorrow can be. You're not behind. We haven't forgotten about you. You are not out of the running. I didn't take you through something that almost broke you just to leave you unfinished. I did not hold you through your tears, losses, and confusion, only to leave you at the point where things became clear. What you lived through wasn't a coincidence. It made you better. Use this in your everyday life. Don't just use what you can see to judge progress. Before it breaks the surface, growth takes place below the ground. In the dark, roots grow deeper before fruit shows up in the light. You will miss what is already growing inside you if you only trust what you can see moving. Pick to stay put. Pick to stay open. Pick to stay in line. Rather than going against the flow, I'd like you to agree with what I'm doing right now. Peace comes from agreement. Resistance wears you out. To trust the direction, you don't have to know every step. Also, remember that the last stretch usually feels harder than the first. Not because you are failing, but because what is coming soon is too heavy for you to hold on to what doesn't belong. Let go of guilt that you don't need. Let go of the fear that you're hiding behind caution. Let go of voices that scare you without any sense. Please take a moment to type "yes" in the comments if these words speak to you, and a quiet nod goes up in your head. This is your choice today to choose alignment over anxiety. Read this message all the way through because each part builds on the last. What you do will not only inspire you, it will also make you stronger. These words should help you decide what to do, be patient, and stay focused in the days to come. Know this, my child, before I go on. I'm still not done with you, and what comes next will make sense of what came before. If these words have helped you understand, been encouraging, or brought you peace, please support this channel by liking the video, subscribing, and joining the community. This way, you can keep getting messages that help you grow and stay grounded. And if these words have really made you feel better and made you happy, a big thank you is a meaningful way to help them reach more people who need them. Stay here. Pay close attention. Don't think that just because it's quiet, nothing is going on. Things are not still when they are silent or when they are delayed. Yes, I do speak out loud sometimes, and no, I choose to work quietly other times. Most of the time, people only trust me when they hear or see something clear. People who learn to trust me in silence, on the other hand, see the most profound changes. If God brought you here, He brought you here on purpose. These videos cost us everything and earn us nothing. Your support is what keeps this mission alive. Every gift, every seed, God honors it. Thank you from our whole hearts. Now, there is a place God is calling you to, a real community of chosen ones, people who pray together, grow together, and carry each other. God says, don't stay on the outside. The link is below. Come home, beloved. During this time, answers did not come to you in the way you thought they would. You asked clear questions, but the answer you got wasn't clear either. You truly prayed, but you didn't hear anything that sounded like confirmation. This made you feel uneasy, and sometimes you wondered if anyone was listening to you. You were heard. You're still being heard. And the work I'm doing now needs silence. Not because I'm far away, but because I'm close. Give this some thought and use what you learn in your life. The most delicate work is never done quickly or loudly. When something valuable is being made, it is kept safe. It is hidden when something valuable is being made ready. Fear and impatience would try to take over the process if I told them all of the steps. You're not pausing. You are going through a change. When you're going through a transition, the old doesn't fit right, and the new hasn't fully shown up yet. Many people get bored here and try to go back to what they know, even if it doesn't help them anymore. But going backwards will never lead to progress. Don't fall back on old habits just because you don't know what will happen next. Don't go back to old ways of thinking just because it's lonely to wait. Do not give up what you have learned just to feel better for a short time. I've been teaching you how to be smart. You don't act the same way you used to. You can see patterns more quickly. You don't like things that you used to put up with. This is growth, even if it seems like a pain. What you think of as pain is actually alignment. If you choose honesty, patience, or self-control, you might not see a reward right away, but the choices you make are making the world a better place for your next blessing to live. Every gift can't live in chaos. Emotional noise can't always make a chance grow. This is the reason I've been pulling you close. At times you felt cut off from people, conversations, and even places you used to enjoy. You believed you were not well. You thought that things were getting farther apart. In reality, though, you were getting better. As clarity grows, the ability to handle distractions decreases. You are learning to put peace ahead of getting what you want. The truth is becoming more important to you than comfort. These lessons teach you to value purpose over speed. This is not being alone. This is getting ready. Be careful not to make too much noise when it's quiet. You miss the subtle guidance that only comes when you are paying attention, when you are in a hurry to fill the silence with constant input. Being still makes things clearer to see. Being quiet makes intuition stronger. Use this in real life. Take it easy on your reactions. You don't have to answer every thought. You shouldn't give your energy to every opinion. Not all delays need an explanation. Sometimes being calm is the smartest thing to do. I know that you've been mentally and emotionally as well as physically tired. There is decision fatigue, hope fatigue, and waiting fatigue. You're not weak just because you're tired. It means you've been carrying more than you should have. Don't try to figure everything out right away. Don't feel bad about taking a break. You can take a break without losing your progress. You can trust even if you don't have proof. Being still is not the same as not doing anything. Being still is on purpose. Stillness is aware. Stillness looks around. Being still saves strength for the next thing. Do not mistake being still for staying the same. What you are working on now will soon need you to be clear, emotionally stable, and sure of yourself. If I pushed you too quickly without making these areas stronger, what I give you might be too much for you and not help you. That's why timing is important. You're not behind schedule. You're not early. You are being put in place. If that voice of doubt has been telling you that you should be further along by now, call it what it is. Comparison changes the way you see things. It doesn't matter what speed someone else is going at. You're running your own race. Pay attention, stay grounded, and keep an open mind. Write, "I'm staying focused," in the comments as a quiet promise to yourself, if these words are helping you get your bearings again, if you can feel your heart and mind calming down. Read this message all the way through. Every part is meant to help you along the way, one step at a time. What you take in slowly will last longer than what you feel hurriedly. Pay close attention, my child. I didn't hold you up to make you mad. To keep you safe, I've slowed things down. You will soon be able to see why the silence was important before the clarity. Stay in the present. Do not quickly read these words. What I'm about to tell you will explain why you are still standing when you thought you were going to fall. At times, you felt like you were just barely making it. You judged your strength by how tired you were, how often you doubted yourself, and how heavy your thoughts got at night. But being strong doesn't always mean being loud, and it's not always clear when resilience is being built. You thought that being strong would make you feel confident. You thought that growth would make you feel sure of things. You thought that endurance would make you feel strong. Instead, it felt like going on when you didn't have a clear reason to. It felt like I was choosing not to quit even though it made sense to do so. It was like being there when no one was looking. That's real strength. A lot of people only think they are strong when they see results. When nothing is praised, I see strength in sticking to something. I think you're strong when you hold back your words instead of defending yourself. When you forgive without being asked, I see strength. When you stay true to yourself even when giving in would have been easier, I see strength. because you stayed even though it was hard. You're stronger than you think. There were times when you needed reassurance but were given responsibility instead. You asked for help sometimes, but you were given the strength to keep going. What they did wasn't punishment. That was getting ready. You should think about how this fits into your life. You had to be a different person to deal with the problems you were having recently. You wouldn't be ready for what's coming if I had taken away the pressure too soon. Pressure shows what a capacity is. Resistance makes you stronger. You didn't just get by, you changed. You not only made it through, you grew up. You did more than just wait. You learned how to be smart. You can now see red flags more quickly. You get over being let down faster. You wait before you act. These are signs that you are strong inside. Don't forget what you've gained this season, even if things outside of you haven't changed much yet. Being emotionally stable is a gift. Being clear is a gift. To have self-control is a gift. These ideas are not just thoughts. They are now your reality. We've reached the point where this message goes from being inspiring to being completely moving. Right now, take a moment to say that you are growing spiritually. Just right. My inner clarity is activated in the space below. Say to your spirit that you will not downplay the quiet battles you've won. This is a brave promise. As you write it, feel the weight of approval shift from the praise of others to your own peace. A lot of people go after opportunities without realizing they don't have the inner strength to keep going. You are getting ready to handle what's coming without losing who you are. You felt like you were being ignored sometimes, like when other people moved forward while you stayed where you were. You wondered if your work was worth it. But long-lasting growth doesn't happen quickly. It takes time to add depth. Experience, not speed, is what makes you wise. I have been building up your inner strength. Use this in real life right now. Don't say mean things about yourself anymore. Don't call yourself weak because you were tired. Stop calling this season a failure just because it didn't look good. Please use the correct scale to measure. The things you learned about being patient will help you in the future. What you learned about limits will help you in the future. What you learned about being wise will help you in the future. You didn't waste any time. You learned something. There were also times when you chose to be quiet instead of talking. You left without getting into a fight. You let people misunderstand you instead of trying to make things clear. Even though no one praised it, that took a lot of strength. I saw those times. It looked like you were going to explain yourself, but chose peace instead. You had the chance to show how valuable you were, but you chose not to. I saw how you stuck to what you knew was right even when you didn't feel like it. That is not being passive. Such self-mastery it is. A lot of people react. Few learn how to answer. You are learning how to answer. Also, know this. The strength you gained wasn't just for you. It will become stable for other people. It will turn into direction. It will gain power, but not through control. Instead, it will gain power through example. What will help people is not what you say, but how you act. You will not force people to learn, but you will be consistent. Your words will have more weight when the time comes because of what you've been through. This is why there was a lot of bad mood at times. When you grow on the inside, it can be hard to see. The enemy does best when it's hard to tell how far things have come. But the fact that you couldn't see it doesn't mean it wasn't happening. You're not the same person you were before this season started. Pay attention to how you deal with stress now. Take a look at how you deal with disappointment now. Take note of how you've chosen peace over chaos now. There's proof there. Write, "I see the progress" in the comments if you're ready to accept this growth instead of brushing it off. This will show that you will no longer downplay what you have accomplished. Read this message all the way through. Piece by piece, each part makes things clearer. What you know now will get you ready to face what comes next without fear. Follow me. Dear family, if this prayer touched something in you today, that was not emotion. That was God. He is inviting you to go deeper. Our community exists for people exactly like you. Those who hunger, who seek, who refuse to stay shallow in their faith. The link below is your next step. Every gift you sow into this mission keeps this light burning for thousands of chosen ones around the world. God sees every seed. God blesses every giver. Come, family. Your place is waiting. This part is more important than you think, because what I'm about to say will explain why things have been so loud, confusing, or emotionally demanding lately. You need to see a pattern if you want to make smart decisions going forward. Just as clarity starts to appear, distractions get worse. Just as alignment starts to take hold, extra options start to show up. Just as you start to see progress, old habits, thoughts, and voices try to get your attention again. There's no chance in this. There is no such thing as chaos when you are distracted. It often comes in the form of an opportunity. At first glance, it seems like something familiar, cozy, or emotionally appealing. It says, "This will be easier," or "This will help you feel better for now," or "You deserve a break from being so disciplined." Watch out. Not everything that makes you feel better is good for you. You don't have to go through everything that opens. You've noticed that it's been hard for you to concentrate lately. Things that shouldn't be big feel big. You are more irritated than usual by small problems. Thoughts that you thought were over come back to you. It's not because you are going backwards. It's because you're getting close to something important. The more strategic distractions there are, the closer you get to being happy. Some distractions come from other people, like conversations that drain you, opinions that make you confused, and comparisons that make you feel less sure of yourself. Others come from your own thoughts, doubts that make you question whether you're ready, fears that make you overreact to the chance of failing, or impatience that makes you want to rush something that needs to be done slowly. Use this right now in your life. Pay attention to what is keeping you from being at peace. Pay attention to what keeps getting in the way of your clarity. Check to see if it helps you get where you want to go, or just takes your attention away from the present moment. You don't have to answer every message. You don't have to think about everything. You don't have to think about every memory again. It's not enough to just try hard to focus. It's about being smart. I didn't tell you to completely shut yourself off, but I did tell you to be picky. Things grow based on where you put your attention. What you think about will affect the choices you make in the long run. This is why it's important to keep your mind safe. Now, there will be times when being distracted feels like it's an emergency, and something needs to be done right away. Urgency is often a way to avoid thinking things through. To be clear, don't hurry. Truth doesn't get scared. Direction does not require acting on impulse. Wait before you respond. Watch before making a choice. Listen before you answer. You already know that you don't have to fight every battle. If you ignore some distractions, they lose their power. When they are not being heard, some voices go away. Do not mix up how strongly you feel with how important something is. You are learning how to tell the difference between things that need your attention and things that don't. Making no difference is not what this is about. Setting goals is what it's all about. Being emotionally mature lets you stay grounded, even when there is a lot of noise going on around you. Self-doubt, or thoughts like, what if this doesn't work? Or, what if you fail? Or, what if you're not enough? Will also occasionally get in the way. Fear tries to stop progress, so these thoughts often show up when growth is about to happen. Remember this. Fear asks questions but doesn't give answers. Questions that lead to clarity are what wisdom asks. Figure out how to tell them apart. You don't have to know everything in order to move forward. What you already know is what you have to stick to. You won't be safe if you think too much. Will of discernment. Now is the time to keep things simple. Clear up your thoughts. Make your promises easier to keep. Make your expectations more clear. It will be easier to see what's important to you once your inner world is more clear. This is not always the same as depth. Sometimes it's just a distraction that looks like sophistication. You can pick peace over making a point if you want to. You can pick consistency over excitement if you want to. You are allowed to leave something that makes you feel bad. Do not forget how powerful it is to be calm and focused. In a world where people are scattered, it keeps you in line. Instead of reacting emotionally, it lets you respond with thought. It keeps you strong for what really matters. When you feel like you can't handle everything, it's time to refocus, not give up. Do not lose sight of what you have learned so far. Pay attention to what you can change today. Watch out for things that make you want to leave the stable area. If this message is helping you figure out what distractions you need to let go of, make a choice to protect your attention and energy by typing "I choose focus" in the comments. Follow this show all the way to the end. Each part is meant to help you become smarter and more practical with your wisdom, not just temporarily feel inspired. Listen to this and keep it close, my child. You're not being checked to see if you can fail. You are getting better so that you can handle what's coming without getting lost. Pay close attention. Follow me. Do not move too quickly. What you are about to learn will answer questions that have been bothering you for a long time. You want to know why things didn't happen sooner. When you think about past events, you wonder what might have been different if you had answers sooner, or doors opened when you first knocked. You think about chances that almost came up and seasons that seemed to be late for no reason. It looked like time was being wasted from where you were standing. From where I am, nothing was late. Time is not a punishment. Timing is very accurate. What I give you must come to you at the right time for you to handle it well. If you do it too early, it will be a burden. It loses its power if it's too late. I never move at random or without thinking. When you thought you were ready, you weren't. That doesn't mean you can't do it. It means that you were still being formed on many levels. Capacity grows slowly. Wisdom grows without being seen. Endurance builds up slowly. The cost would have been higher than the benefit if I had sped up the process. Use this right away in your life. Take note of how your responses have changed over time. Take note of how your values have become clearer. Take note of how you're not chasing what used to distract you. These changes took time to happen. They took place because time worked its magic. You have learned to be wise by waiting. Uncertainty has taught you to be humble. You have learned to be patient by praying over and over again. These lessons were not side trips. They were important. There were some relationships that you couldn't bring with you into the future. People had hopes that needed to be let go of. There were things you thought about yourself that you needed to change. The right timing allowed for separation without damage. It let things grow without falling apart. What feels slow often keeps you from feeling bad about things, even though you can't see it yet. The way things are going now will save you a lot of trouble in the future. To get to some paths, you have to be mature first. Some blessings need to be held back before they can grow. Before some doors can fully open, you need to be wise. This is the reason why being impatient is bad. Being impatient means thinking you are ready just because you want something. Need not be the same thing as readiness. Preparation is not replaced by longing. You are better able to tell the difference now. Give it some thought. If certain things had happened sooner, how would you have dealt with them? Would you have been calm or tense? Would you have been smart about what to do or scared? What would you have done? Would you have stayed grounded or lost yourself? Timing told you the answers to those questions ahead of time. You're not being stopped. You are being put in place. This will happen because of the person you have become, not the person you were. You will walk into it with clarity instead of confusion, confidence instead of fear, and steadiness instead of a sense of needing to act quickly. It's not the same thing to chase results and to receive them. You strain when you chase. When you receive, you take care of. I want you to lead what's coming, not just get through it. This is another reason why there are more comparisons these days. When the stars align, you can see other people's progress better. But comparison changes how we see things. You only see parts of their journey. You don't see how much it cost, what they gave up, or how hard it was for them behind the scenes. Your schedule is planned. Stay in the present. Pay close attention. Stick to what you have in front of you right now. Small steps taken over time build momentum that can't be kept up by big jumps. If you get impatient while waiting, use that anger to improve your habits. Get more disciplined, learn more, and focus more clearly. If you don't want to stop growing, waiting doesn't mean you're stuck. There is a reason for this too. You are not forgotten. You're not late by accident. You won't be forgotten during the process. Everything that needed to grow up has grown up, and that includes you. Take this truth in, my child. There won't be a rush when the time comes. It'll feel good. You can say, I trust the timing, to show that you are letting go of impatience and embracing wisdom if you agree with this point of view, and choose to trust the process instead of fighting it. Hold on to this message until the end of the show. Each part is getting you ready not only to get something new, but also to keep it in your life with peace and clarity. Before we go any further, if these words are helping you change your mind and give you strength for your journey, please support this channel by liking the video, subscribing, and joining the community. That way, you can keep getting helpful advice that will improve your life. If these words make you feel good, and you want other people to feel the same way, a super thanks is a meaningful way to support and spread the message. Follow me. Do not let being tired keep you from coming. You've been feeling a quiet fear that too much time has passed, that something has been lost, and that what was once promised might not be possible anymore. So let me talk about that fear. Pay attention to this. The things I said about your life have not ended. Promises don't go away just because you wait. They don't get weaker in silence or go away when things get hard. What I prove doesn't depend on perfect conditions or momentum that doesn't stop. It has a reason for existing. You're not sure if you missed something. You think about choices you've made and wonder if making a different choice would have led to a better result. You ask yourself if being slow cost you a chance. I have these thoughts when I can't hold back any longer. But keep this in mind. If something could be stolen by waiting too long, it was never meant to last. What I cook can stand up to pressure. What I promise will stand the test of time. Sometimes it feels weak because you are human, not because it is breaking. There were times when hope seemed far away. You kept going, but you didn't have the confidence you used to have. The thing you did was question, not quit. That didn't get you kicked out. It showed how sincere you were. It's not deep to have faith that never struggles. When faith lasts through uncertainty, it grows roots. Use this right away in your life. Don't use doubt as proof that you've failed. A lot of the time, doubt means that something important is at risk. You asked because you were interested. You waited because you had faith. You stuck around because you knew this journey was important. That inner knowing wasn't made up. The promise is still alive since it wasn't made on the spur of the moment. As planned, it was made. It stayed the same even when you lost clarity. It stayed safe even when your energy changed. What you thought was going away was actually staying put. I sometimes let distance happen so desire could grow. People often mess up when something is too easy. People value things that are waited for. The wait wasn't meant to be painful. It was meant to help you understand what you are getting better. You're not beginning over. You are moving forward. Not denying something is not the same as delaying it. Denial shuts doors for good. Waiting protects what's inside until the right time comes. You are not outside of a locked door. Right in front of you is one that is timed, and pressure does not change timing. It acts when it's ready. You have become more picky. You no longer agree with everything that seems good. It's easy for you to say no now that you know how. You've learned to think things through before you act. The way you deal with what comes next will depend on how you handle these changes. Can I have this? Is no longer the only thing you want. This is what you mean by, can I steward this well? That change shows that you're getting older. There were also times when you felt like you were carrying your belief by yourself. Some people didn't get your patience. Some people told you that your hope was not realistic. Being alone put your resolve to the test, but it also made you more motivated. You learned how to stand without being praised. That strength will help you stay strong. Really understand this. What is meant for you can't be taken away by doubt, distraction, or delay. You can only mess it up if you stop being wise. That's why this season has put so much emphasis on discernment. You should protect your heart, not because it is weak, but because it is valuable. Don't touch old wounds to see if they hurt again. Do not look back at past failures to see how far you've come. Do not let fear change what has already been decided. You don't need to bring up the promise again. It has been breathing the whole time in. You need to be steady, have a calm heart, keep your mind focused, and be willing to keep going without forcing things to happen. Don't be in a hurry now. Now is not the time to run away. Now is the time to stay in line. If defeat told you that you waited too long, pay attention to that voice and let it go. When someone is discouraged, they talk in absolutes and don't understand the point. Wisdom waits for things to become clear before speaking. I'm not telling you to work harder. I want you to stay in touch. Connection makes you feel better. Connection changes your point of view. When your emotions change, connection keeps you grounded. If these words give you hope again and help you let go of the fear that you missed your chance, write, "I'm still believing" in the comments to show that you won't give up on what was put in your heart. Read this message all the way through. Each part is meant to boost confidence and clarity, not put pressure on you. The things you are learning right now will help you move forward without stress. Keep this truth close to you, child. What I said I would do is strong and won't break easily. When the time is right, it will meet the person you have become. Stay here. Follow me. Do not rush past this truth. What you are learning now will keep you safe after the fun is over. You felt some pressure to move faster and get there faster to show that the wait was worth it. The world sees speed as impressive, but endurance keeps going when speed can't. A lot of people get something quickly, but then lose it again because they never learned how to stay steady once they got it. You need to learn how to be patient, because what's coming up is not temporary. To be endurance, you don't have to work harder every day. It's about keeping up with wisdom even when your motivation changes. It means choosing to stay the same when your feelings change. Being aligned is what it takes when progress seems slow and no one is paying attention. You have been working on your endurance without even knowing it. You had questions that weren't answered. You dealt with uncertainty without giving up. You went through times when it would have been easy to quit. That toughness has changed the way you think. No longer are you in a hurry to get away from pain. It's important to stay present during growth, as you now know. This is very important for the coming season. Use this right away in your life. Stop measuring progress by how much you can see, how you deal with stress, how you talk to yourself, and how you choose peace over reaction are some of the most important changes that happen inside you. These are the things that keep blessings going. You can get there quickly. You can stay there with endurance. You've seen people try to do too much and get tired. Others have tried to keep up with the speed and lost their way. You have seen how impatience leads to cycles of being excited and then being let down. That style is not right for you. What I'm building with you needs to be stable. There will be times when the pace naturally picks up. When it's time to move quickly, you will. However, steadiness is more valuable at the moment than speed. You can grow without losing who you are if you learn how to keep your balance when things get tough. You learn how to rest without giving up when you practice endurance. It teaches you how to take a break without getting upset. You learn how to trust without needing proof. You are learning to control your inner world, which is more important than what is going on in the outside world. When you're calm, you can make better choices. A mind that is grounded can see opportunities without feeling desperate. There were times when being patient got old for you. You were confused about why other people seemed to be making quick progress while you were still getting ready. At that time, you couldn't see how your preparation was changing your ability. Longevity depends on capacity. You're getting ready for something that will last. That's why I've been telling you to keep things simple. Clear thinking is good for endurance. When you take on too many commitments that aren't necessary, your endurance wanes. Focus keeps you strong. Don't carry things that aren't yours. Do not be in charge of things you were not given. You shouldn't take on stress that isn't yours. Part of being able to endure is learning how to let go of extra weight. You have also learned to deal with things without getting angry. That doesn't happen often. Many people get through hard times but become stronger. You kept the door open. You chose to understand instead of being angry. You picked growth over pointing fingers. That choice kept your heart healthy. I saw it. Longevity is not a passive trait. It's deliberate persistence that is guided by knowledge. It understands when to go and when to wait. It does hear. It changes. It can still be taught. You will do well if you can learn new things. There will be times when progress seems to be going smoothly. Do not mistake calm for not moving. A lot of the time, calm means that things are getting in line. Clarity can come to the surface when inner chaos goes away. You should have quiet confidence in your endurance instead of loud striving. If you are learning to value steadiness over speed, and if you want to keep going without forcing things to happen, type "I will stay steady" in the comments as a promise to yourself to be patient instead of impatient. Read this message all the way through. Each part is meant to make the one before it stronger, so that what comes next can improve your life instead of making it harder. Remember this, my child. Endurance isn't about how fast you move, but how well you stay in the right place when the journey gets tough. Stay here. Keep your attention on what you need to do. What I'm about to say isn't meant to scare you, but to make you aware. Because safety isn't about being suspicious. It's about being smart. Your heart has been through a lot. It has taken in sadness, hope, waiting, self-control, and strength. It stayed open through it all. Being open is not a sign of weakness, it's strength. If you don't protect your strength, something that wasn't meant to carry it will drain it. Right now, your heart is more important than ever, not because you are weak, but because you are growing powerful. In the end, the things that grow inside you will affect your choices, relationships, and direction. If your heart is full of noise, fear, or unresolved pain, it will make it harder to see clearly. To protect your heart, you don't have to keep people out. It means being picky about what you let in. It means being aware of what you carry emotionally. These days, you've noticed that some conversations make you feel uneasy. Some people make you feel tired more than before. Some topics cause more stress than they need to. It's not because you're becoming too sensitive. That's because you're more aware now. Pay attention to what makes you feel bad. Pay attention to the things that keep coming back to you. Keep an eye on what keeps pulling you out of alignment. These are signals, not bothersome things. Use this in your everyday life. You don't have to let everyone into your private life. There are some things that you can keep holy. You can work alone while processing. You have time to think about your plans, problems, or next steps before you share them. People can respect you even if they don't understand you. Being quiet can teach you a lot. Silence gives you room to breathe. When things are said too quickly, there is no time for discernment. You now know that some things grow better when they are kept from getting too hot or cold too soon. This is very important right now, when internal momentum is starting to build. Opinions from other people can shake your confidence. When direction starts to become clearer, outside doubt can cause people to hesitate when they don't need to. To protect your heart, you need to block out voices, not stop connecting with people. Pick your advisors carefully. Pick environments on purpose. Pick your influences carefully. You are not meant to take in everyone else's feelings. Self-neglect is not necessary to have empathy. To be compassionate, you don't have to give up more than is reasonable. Your peace isn't about you alone. Being clear is not a sign of pride. Limits are not the same thing as rejection. They are being a steward. If your heart has too much on it, you already know what happens. It makes people confused, tired, and emotionally overloaded. That's why you are being told to simplify not only in a practical way, but also on an emotional level. Let go of the anger you don't need anymore. Let go of guilt that doesn't matter anymore. Let go of expectations that were never going to come true. These things take up space that should be clear. Before you go, hear this. God is not done with what He started in you through this video. There is a home He is calling you into, a place where chosen ones pray together, carry one another, and grow in faith every single day. Find us through the link in the description, and if your heart is moved to sow, trust that God honors every seed planted in faith. We will see you on the other side, beloved. To protect your heart, you must also be honest with yourself. Staying away from your feelings won't keep you safe. Taking note of them does. Take care of what you need to take care of, so it doesn't come back later as a fear or distraction. You don't have to heal quickly. Also, you don't need to make it important. You have to be there for it. Being honest in a kind way makes you strong. As you go on, you will face times that test how well you can control your emotions. Triggers from the past may try to come up again. Patterns from the past may try to come back. Being aware lets you make different decisions. You are no longer reacting without thinking. You are responding on purpose. That's growth. Pick what you think about to protect your heart. Playing through the worst-case scenarios won't help you get ready. It wears you out. It doesn't protect you to keep doing the same bad things. It holds you to what's behind. Keep your attention on things that make you feel stable. You don't have to be in charge of what happens to feel safe. It's important to be clear, patient, and trusting. These traits grow stronger in a heart that is guarded. Write, "I will guard my heart," in the comments if you feel called to be more intentional with your feelings, thoughts, and boundaries. This is your choice to protect what is growing inside you. Read this message all the way through. Each part gives you useful information that you can use every day. There is no pressure or hype, just lasting clarity. Keep this in mind, my child. What you have on you right now is valuable. Keep it safe, and it will lead you where you need to go. Follow me. Do not back off now. What I'm about to say is, for times when you feel strong but tired, willing but overworked, loyal but worn out from taking on more than you thought you would, some types of tiredness can't be fixed by rest alone. It's not a lack of strength. It's weight that has built up. It comes from staying strong when things are uncertain, from being consistent when you don't get a reward right away, and from having to be strong for longer than you thought you would have to be. I can see that weight. When you renew, you don't have to start over. In renewal, what has been drained is filled back up without giving up on what has been built. A lot of people mix up renewal and escape. They believe that leaving is the only way to solve the problem. But renewal isn't about giving up. It has to do with recalibrating. To get better, you don't have to quit. You need to get straight. Use this right away in your life. Pay attention to where your energy is going to waste. Pay attention to what drains you without giving you anything in return. Take note of habits that used to help you but now make you tired. Awareness, not action, is the first step toward renewal. If you want to slow down, you can do that without getting lost. You can take a breath without stopping your progress. It's okay to change your focus without changing your goal. You don't lose momentum when you rest. It's lost because of burnout. At times you had to push through tiredness because you didn't have any other choice. You did what you had to do to stay alive. But survival mode isn't meant to last forever. What kept you going during a crisis won't keep you going during a growth spurt. Now is the time to make changes. You are learning how to handle your responsibilities with calm instead of stress. You are learning how to stay committed without putting yourself last. You are learning how to hear your limits without seeing them as signs that you have failed. What you're learning is part of getting ready. A lot of the time, renewal doesn't look very exciting. It looks like the lines are better. It looks like the pauses were planned. It looks like picking depth over doing things all the time. It seems like letting your mind rest instead of stimulating it all the time. Stillness makes things clear again. Clarity makes you stronger. Being strong boosts confidence. Don't forget how powerful little changes can be. You don't have to do a complete makeover to feel fresh again. It's important that your actions match your values. When those get farther apart, fatigue gets worse. Being honest with yourself is important. Do you feel obligated to do things that no longer fit with your goals? Are you carrying around expectations that were never put on you? Are you saying yes when a smart person would say wait? When you honestly answer those questions, renewal can begin. You have been faithful, but being faithful doesn't mean you have to wear yourself out. Consistency doesn't mean that output has to stay the same. Maintenance is needed for even the strongest buildings. I don't need you to give more right now. I want you to replenish what has been lost so you can move forward with clarity. If you're tired, you might want to spend time by yourself. When you're tired, withdrawal feels safer, but renewal doesn't have to happen alone. It needs to be connected on purpose. Pick places that make you feel better. Pick conversations that bring you down to earth. Pick times when you can clear your mind. You're not weak because you need to be renewed. It's smart of you to see that. Having a new point of view can also bring renewal. Vision gets worse as fatigue builds. There's more weight than there is. Taking a mental step back can help restore balance. Every problem is not an emergency. Not every problem needs to be fixed right away. When you stop pushing things to work out, they sometimes do. Do not feel like you have to perform all the time. Your worth is not just based on how much you get done. It's more important who you are becoming than how busy you look. Being patient with yourself is also a part of renewal. You are still getting used to this level of growth. Going backwards doesn't erase progress. Mistakes don't change the direction. They help people understand better. Always be kind without giving up. Be strict without becoming stiff. Don't let your commitment consume you. If this part seems to be talking directly to you right now, if you feel like it's telling you to restore balance instead of pushing harder, type, "I choose renewal," in the comments as a quiet choice to take good care of your strength. Read this message all the way through. Each part is meant to help you live with purpose, not stress, and with clarity, not confusion. How you handle the next season will depend on what you do now. Remember this, kid. You don't have to work yourself to death to show how dedicated you are. As you move forward, I will teach you how to be strong for a long time. Stay here. Follow me. Don't walk away now. This part talks about a question you haven't always asked out loud. The question of being seen, being recognized, and why it was important to be invisible for so long. You've wondered why your hard work didn't seem to be paying off, why your consistency didn't get you noticed right away, and why other people's work seemed to get noticed while yours stayed hidden. When you were overlooked, you sometimes wondered if it meant you were not valued. It didn't. Being hidden is not the same as being forgotten. Hidden seasons keep growth safe. They let depth form without putting any pressure on it. They help people strengthen their identities without changing them. Being able to see something too early can break what is still forming. You aren't being forgotten. You are being kept safe. When you're not ready, recognition turns into weight. If you don't have stability, your attention will wander. Being exposed without a safety net makes insecurity worse. I kept you from being seen not to put you down, but to keep you safe. Use this in your everyday life. Think about what kind of praise you really want. Would you like the applause or to be in line? Do you want to make an impact or get noticed? When there is visibility without clarity, performance is often asked of people instead of their purpose. You have been learning how to stand up straight without help. You need to learn that lesson more than you think. When approval is what drives you, you lose your way. When you have a purpose, recognition is less important, which is why I let you grow quietly. Your wisdom has grown to the point where it doesn't need praise. You know how to keep going without being reassured. You have strengthened your resolve without any help from others. These traits will help you stay steady as your fame grows, which it will. But it will grow at the right time, with the right people, and in the right way. You will not have to give up your values or act like someone you are not in order to get it. When recognition comes from alignment, it doesn't be too much. It says yes. You don't need to try to get more attention. You do not need to say anything. You don't have to prove that you're good. Presence speaks for itself when the time is right. There's also a reason why not many people saw you while you were learning. Making mistakes in private makes you smarter. It's common to feel bad about making mistakes in public. I didn't watch you too closely while you practiced, changed, and grew. That was kindness. Being seen doesn't mean that everyone knows you. It's about being known where you need to be. Influence, not exposure, is what it's all about. It is not about noise, but about impact. You are being set up for long-term visibility, not just passing attention. Think about how this works right now. Even when no one is looking, keep being honest. Do the work well, even if you don't get credit right away. Stay true to your values, even if it seems easier to take the easy way out. Being consistent helps people trust you. You won't have to explain yourself when the time comes. Your work will be heard. Your character is going to talk. Your calmness will speak for itself. There will be people who are shocked when you show up. People will be curious about where you are from. They won't see the years of hard work, the quiet endurance, or the discipline that can't be seen. You will know, though, and that's enough. Do not worry about being seen. Do not want to be seen before you are ready. You are learning how to be responsible with humility, how to have influence with moderation, and how to take advantage of chances with knowledge. This is why timing is important. It means that you are in alignment when you feel a quiet confidence growing instead of a desperate need to be noticed. Allow it to grow. Allow it to grow. Let it help you decide what to do. Write, "I trust the timing of visibility," in the comments to show that you are ready to wait for things to happen their own pace. Read this message all the way through. Every part helps you make a life, not just a moment that goes away. This lesson will help you deal with being seen without losing who you are. Before we go any further, if these words are helping you understand things better, ground your thoughts and grow in real ways. Please support this channel by liking the video, subscribing, and joining the community. This way, you can keep getting messages that are useful for you. If these words have touched you and you feel led to help spread this message, a big thank you is a meaningful way to support this work and make it last. Remember this, my child. You won't have to force being seen when the time comes. You will naturally move forward if you are aligned. Follow me. Don't shut your heart down. This part talks about the hurts you don't talk about very often. The times you were mistreated, ignored, or treated unfairly, and the question you always had, will this ever be made right? What was taken from you I have seen. I have seen what was lied about. I've seen cases where people didn't try, or where intentions were called into question. Justice doesn't always happen right away, but it's never not there. People around you are quick to judge and act before they understand. It's easy to think that silence means it's okay to do wrong, or that time makes people less responsible in this kind of world. But justice that hurts is not the same as justice that helps. What I bring brings balance back to your life, without hurting your morals. You weren't told to fight every battle because you weren't supposed to. Some disagreements would have made you angry and distracted for a long time. When words would have hurt your heart more, silence kept it safe. Use this right away in your life. Take note of how restraint kept you safe. Notice how your character stayed the same when you chose not to fight back. Take note of how leaving kept you from becoming what hurt you. That wasn't being weak. That was smart. You've thought about what it means to let go and let other people win. But being free does not mean giving up. Trust is letting go. It gives the outcome to people who can see the big picture as well as the present. Justice is built up over time. Sometimes it's meant to correct you. It can come in the form of a redirection. It sometimes comes as restoration that makes the loss not matter. What it does, not how it looks, is what matters. You shouldn't remember pain to show that it was real. You are meant to be healed after that. There were times when you gave more than you got, times when your contribution wasn't very important, times when people doubted your sincerity. Even though it hurt, you didn't let it make you tough. That choice is important. When justice comes from anger, it leaves scars. When trust leads to justice, peace follows. The difference is being taught to you. Right timing is also important. You can't rush some outcomes without making things worse. Too much exposure too soon can make the conflict worse. If you resolve things too quickly, they may not heal. I've been dealing with what happened in ways you couldn't see, putting things in order so that healing wouldn't make you lose your cool. Use this in real life. Don't go back to the past to gather evidence. Don't play out scenarios over and over to change the conversations. That mental work wears you down and makes it take longer to heal. You don't have to play out injustice to make your experience real. Your story has already been told. There will be times when clarity comes without any arguments. Things will change. Things will look different. There will be chances that make past losses seem small. This is how restoration usually works. Because it moves you so much, the old pain doesn't define the story anymore. You aren't getting anything in return for conflict. You are getting growth, clarity, and peace in return. Justice doesn't always look like being praised by everyone. There are times when it looks like personal freedom. It can look like doors opening that other people can't get to. It can look like strength that you can't shake sometimes. Have faith in this process. Do not be jealous of people who seem to get ahead by cheating or taking shortcuts. Their gains change a lot. What is built without honesty needs to be defended all the time. When something is built with integrity, it stands on its own. You don't have to carry that weight. There is also healing going on inside of you. A loss of confidence is being made up for. Trust that was broken is being fixed. Being more careful is making you smarter. This inner healing is more important than the results on the outside. You're not just getting successful, you're becoming whole. If anger has been trying to stay, let it go on purpose. Being angry keeps you stuck in a situation you need to leave behind. It's not denial to forgive. It's freedom. It makes room for the next thing. Pick freedom. Writing, "I release and trust" in the comments is a way to show that you are choosing healing over anger if this part speaks to you, and you are ready to let justice happen without having to prove anything. Read this message all the way through. Each part is meant to help you live a life of clarity, peace, and long-term growth, not cycles of reaction. Remember this, my child. We will fix what was wrong, but not at the expense of who you are becoming. You will be healed in a way that makes you stronger, not scarred. Follow me. Do not drift. Chosen one, you did not find this by accident. God placed you here. He knew your name before this video began, and right now He is calling you further, into a family of believers who walk this road together, every single day. The link is in the description. Come and find your people. And if He is nudging you to give, that nudge is Him. Every seed you plant, He multiplies. God bless you, beloved. We are waiting. How do I know I'm on the right path? Is a question you've felt more than spoken. This part makes it clear. A lot of the time, alignment is quiet. It doesn't make itself known by constantly being exciting or showing dramatic signs. Alignment often feels like a calm sense of certainty. It feels like order where there was chaos before. It feels like peace that lasts even though things are still happening. You've been taught to only look for alignment in results, but alignment starts on the inside before it shows on the outside. Things are aligned when your values, thoughts, and actions all start to go in the same direction. Pay close attention to how you've changed. You're not as drawn to the things that used to use up all of your energy. You're not as eager to please people as you used to be. You no longer feel like you have to explain yourself all the time. That's the alignment getting set. Just because something is aligned doesn't mean it's easy. It means you're not fighting yourself anymore. There may still be problems, but there is less resistance inside you. It's easier to make choices. I don't think of boundaries as mean. They feel necessary. Waiting doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like a purpose. Use this right away in your life. Take note of how some decisions make you feel calm, even though they need courage. Take note of how some paths feel heavy, even though they look good. The inner response is telling you more about what to do than any outside noise ever could. When you are aligned, you have less confusion. You don't feel as rushed when you're aligned. When you're in sync, peace stays with you. This doesn't mean you'll never ask a question. This means that questions no longer stop you. They make you better, instead of stopping you. You have also noticed that it is harder to force things now. What used to work with hard work alone now needs harmony. If something isn't aligned, it's hard to change. Aligning something makes it easier for it to happen. This is done on purpose. You are being taught to use your brain instead of your willpower to make decisions. Willpower wears you out. Wisdom keeps you going. There were times when you moved forward just because you could. You pause because you know how much it costs to be out of alignment. That pause is not a sign of doubt. It's grown up. Alignment also helps you be smarter about your relationships. You don't want to persuade other people to follow your lead as much. You know when a conversation makes you feel worse instead of better. You pick being there over doing well. That clarity keeps your energy safe. Don't worry if some connections weaken as the alignment gets stronger. Not everyone is meant to be with you as you move on to the next season. There is no rejection here. It's a step up. When goals are different, paths diverge. People aren't leaving you. You are becoming clearer. Letting go of things that used to fit but no longer does is often a part of aligning. Tension will build if you hold on out of habit. Flow is restored by letting go with understanding. Trust what makes you feel calm, not just what makes you feel excited. There will be times when alignment feels calm and smooth. Peace is not the same thing as being still. Peace lets people grow without being stressed out all the time. It makes room for deliberate action instead of reacting without thinking. This is where long-term progress starts. You are also learning how to listen to yourself without getting too focused on yourself. Alignment doesn't make you feel alone. It calms you down. It helps you connect with others from a place of wholeness instead of need. From here you can contribute without running out. You serve without getting angry. You lead without using force. That's how alignment works. If you aren't sure if you are aligned, ask yourself, does this choice make things clear or confusing? Does it make you feel calm or anxious? Does it mean giving up your values or standing firm on them? You can use the answers to help you. You don't need signs all the time. You need peace that lasts. You can tell that alignment is taking root when you feel like your life is getting easier, calmer, and more purposeful, even if results are still coming together. Type "I choose alignment" in the comments as a decision to move forward with wisdom. If this message helps you see where you are and encourages you to keep walking with clarity instead of pressure. Follow this show all the way to the end. Each part is meant to help you put these truths into practice so that your life shows not only belief, but also balance. Keep this close, my child. Being aligned doesn't move you forward or backward. It keeps you where you need to be until you know what to do next. Follow me. Don't tense up your heart at this word. What I'm about to say has nothing to do with limits, fear, or losing your voice. Protection. Quiet, planned protection that keeps you from paths that give less than they cost. You've seen obedience portrayed as a restriction, as if following orders means limiting your choices or putting your needs on hold. That's not what I mean. It's not about control to obey. It's about getting in touch with what keeps you going. When you listen deeply enough, you trust what keeps your future safe, even when other options look good. You've done this before without calling it that. You left things that didn't feel right, even if they promised comfort. You thought things through before making choices that other people jumped to. You didn't take shortcuts that would have made things less peaceful. That was obedience based on knowledge. You can still be free even if you obey. It makes it sharper. It teaches you which choices will make you happy in the long run, and which will make you feel good for a short time, but then make you feel bad later. Use this right away in your life. Think of times when you were able to hold back, wait, or say no, and still kept your energy up. There were chances that were missed. They were kept from being burdens. You are not being asked to give up your will without any reason. People are telling you to trust guidance that goes beyond the present moment. Things have felt off even when they looked fine for a reason. There's a reason why some options made people feel uneasy. even though they looked good. That resistance inside wasn't fear, it was the beginning of discernment. Most of the time, obedience is quiet. It doesn't make a lot of noise. It comes across as a gentle nudge instead of a harsh order. You're getting better at hearing that quiet. There will be times when obedience means being patient, waiting when you think something needs to be done right away, holding back when you think you need to explain, and staying quiet when you think you need to defend yourself. These times shape who you are more than any success you can see. You don't have to act to show how strong you are. You don't have to rush to prove your worth. You don't have to give a reason for every choice you make. Being obedient builds inner authority. It gives you the freedom to act without worrying about what other people will think. You don't need permission from people who can't see where you're going when you trust your guidance. This is why being obedient keeps you from getting distracted. It helps you focus so you're not being pulled in 10 different directions at once. It keeps your focus on the things that really matter. Inconvenience will come up when obedience asks you to choose honesty over gain, when it asks you to put off pleasure for long-term gain, or when it asks you to be consistent without getting something right away. You're investing in those moments. Making a smart choice won't cost you anything. You are protecting what's most important to you: your peace, your clarity, and your direction. You can also avoid becoming someone you're not meant to be by obeying. Without it, drive can change values, stress can make people less compassionate, and speed can take the place of wisdom. Your growth is held in place by obedience. You know that making choices that are in line with your values makes life feel a lot calmer. That calm isn't a fluke. It proves something. Do not be afraid to obey. Fear not being in sync. When you're not in alignment, you feel tired, lost, and pulled away from your true path. There will be voices telling you to not be careful and go after what looks good. There will be times when compromise seems like a good idea. Wisdom, on the other hand, asks, will this make me stronger? Will this keep me going? Does this fit with the person I'm becoming? That list of questions should help you. If you have to give up your peace to get something, it will eventually demand more than it gives. Being obedient helps you see that right away. If you feel led to trust guidance, even though you don't fully understand it yet, write, "I choose obedience with wisdom" in the comments to show that you'd rather be safe than under pressure. Read this message all the way through. Each part gives you the tools you need to move forward with strength, not strain, and clarity, not confusion. Remember this, kid. Being obedient doesn't mean giving up control. Going away from things that would destroy the peace you work so hard to achieve is what it's all about. Follow me. Do not think that being calm means you are weak. I'm going to talk to you about courage now. Not the loud kind that wants to be noticed, but the quiet kind that changes something from the inside out. You were taught that courage looks dramatic, makes itself known, takes big risks without thinking twice, and moves forward without fear. But the courage I'm giving you isn't like that. It stays the same. It shows thought. It doesn't try to prove itself right away. When someone has quiet courage, they do the right thing even when no one cheers. When your motivation wanes, quiet courage stays strong. Quiet courage does things without wanting to be noticed. You have already shown this kind of bravery, even though you didn't call it that. It showed when you kept going even though you weren't sure what to do. It was clear when you chose to be calm instead of angry. It was clear when you stood your ground and didn't give up on what you knew to be right. The world didn't think that courage was impressive, but it changed you. Use this right away in your life. Think about how many times you chose to be smart instead of acting on impulse, how many times you stopped before reacting, and how many times you left situations that made you feel upset. Even though they seemed normal at the time, those decisions took a lot of strength. You don't always have to do more to be brave. An important part of this is often choosing to do less. There will be times when you need this quiet courage again, like when you have to stand your ground without arguing, keep going without being reassured, or trust that things are clear even when other people don't. This bravery will keep you on track. As you learn, you will stop being driven by the fear of missing out. You're learning not to let time scare you. You are learning to let your mind guide you instead of your feelings. It takes courage to do that. When something seems good but feels wrong, it takes guts to say no. It takes guts to wait when everyone else is in a hurry. It takes guts to believe in growth that you can't see. No, you're not giving up. You are becoming more careful. There will also be times when being brave means speaking out loud, calmly, and without anger, when silence is no longer an option for telling the truth, setting limits, or confirming direction. Quiet courage doesn't get out of taking care of things. It meets it without any trouble. You might feel more or less confident now. It doesn't depend as much on outcomes, opinions, or the length of time between events. That's growing courage. This kind of bravery doesn't need to be sure of anything. It moves forward with faith. It doesn't need to be afraid to act wise. It does so even when it is scared. Fear and doubt may still show up and whisper, but they can't choose where you go. It's being taught to you how to be brave without getting tough or defensive. That balance is important. Without compassion, courage turns into force. When compassion lacks courage, it turns into avoidance. This is how you learn to hold both. There are times when being brave is needed to choose peace. It takes courage to walk away from a fight. It takes courage to let go of control. It takes courage to trust the process. Do not forget how brave you have already been, like when you were tired but kept going, when you felt misunderstood but didn't change, or when you weren't sure but chose to be honest. Those times were important. You haven't lost your passion if you feel like you're becoming calmer, more grounded, and less quick to anger. That's courage getting stronger. Allow it to grow. You don't need to get everyone to agree with you. You don't have to explain every choice you make. You don't have to answer every challenge. Being quiet and brave means knowing when to move and when to stay put. The restlessness you've been feeling lately isn't a bad thing. It's the first sign that your quiet courage has grown up. Now is the time to say that you are ready to leave the noise behind and step into your true power. In the comment section below, type a big Amen to let everyone know that you are ready for this upgrade. It should show that you are no longer waiting for folks who can't see where you are going to tell you what to do. If you feel like you are being supported from the inside instead of pushed from the outside, and you are ready to keep choosing courage even when no one can see you, type, "I will walk with quiet courage," in the comments as a promise to stay steady and on track. Read this message all the way through. Every part helps you not only get to a goal, but also do it well once you get there. My child, remember this. You are not being taught to impress everyone. You are being taught how to stand firm in it. Follow me. Do not rush through this. What I'm about to say will help you figure out what to do to keep the peace and keep your future safe. Fear and suspicion are not the same thing. It is clarity that comes from paying attention. It means being able to tell the difference between what you need in your life right now and what you don't need to get where you want to go. A lot of people mix up discernment and judgment. Now, discernment is a gentle thing. It does hear, it looks around, it does nothing until it's told to. Because your life is becoming clearer, you are learning how to make good decisions. When things were uncertain, it was okay to do almost anything. When it wasn't clear what to do, a lot of the options looked the same. But now that things are becoming clearer, the contrast is stronger. What aligns makes me feel calm. What isn't lined up feels heavy. Note that difference. You don't have to like things that make you feel bad anymore. You don't have to explain why you should stay in a place where growth has stopped. You don't need to keep carrying around things that you've grown out of. Discernment helps you tell the time of year. Some things were right for you when you were different from who you are now. Holding on to the past out of loyalty to it will only make the present more tense. Use this right away in your life. Think about what consistently makes you feel calm and what consistently makes you feel tense. Pay attention to patterns, not single moments. The best way to become more discerned is to watch things over time, not react to them in the moment. In spite of not telling anyone, you have already started releasing. You're no longer interested in some conversations. You're no longer happy with some habits. You're no longer interested in some paths. It's not a loss. It's a step up. You are just getting bigger. Your attention is getting better. You can also learn when to accept help and when to turn it down through discernment. Not every kind of help is aligned. Some help makes you dependent. Some advice is based on assumptions. There are some chances that have hidden costs. Wisdom doesn't say no to everything. The test is done. Your question-answering skills are getting better. This is how you learn to listen beyond the words. You are learning to trust things that feel stable instead of things that feel rushed. That's the growth of discernment. At times, letting go will feel awkward, especially if what you're letting go of is something you know well. Comfort can make you feel safe, even if it stops you from growing. Being able to discern gives you the strength to pick what is right over what is easy. If you become more clear, don't be afraid to change your mind. Changes are often needed for growth. Changing course is not the same as failing. Knowing more about something new makes wisdom respond. You have the right to change. There are also times when discernment will ask you to do something you'd rather not. Be responsible, be accountable, or be patient. These aren't a load. They are tools that make you stronger. With discernment, you don't just pick what's easy. It's about picking what does long-lasting good. You've noticed that making decisions on the spot feels harder now. It's no longer exciting to rush through things that used to be fun. There is no hesitation there. It's discernment that keeps you from putting too much stress on yourself. Respect it. Being smart will help you save time. It will help you save power. You'll be glad you did it. It tells you when to talk and when to keep quiet to keep the peace, when to act and when to wait for better results, when to put money into something and when to walk away. You shouldn't have to carry everything. Some things are let go of so that better things can come in. You won't have room for what comes next if you try to hold on to everything. Now is the time to make choices on purpose. Your environment, your thoughts, and your future are all changed by the choices you make. Discipline makes sure that these choices are the right ones. If you want to be pickier, more aware, and more deliberate about what you let into your life, type "I choose discernment" in the comments to make a promise that you will act on wisdom instead of impulse. Read this message all the way through. Each part gives you the tools you need to live with clarity, that gives you strength, not stress, that wears you down. Before we go any further, if these words are helping you make better choices and giving you clarity that you can use in your daily life, please support this channel by liking the video, subscribing, and joining the community. This way, you can stay connected to messages that help and strengthen you. If this message inspires you, and you want it to reach more people who need it, a big thank you is a meaningful way to support and grow this work. Remember this, my child. Being wise doesn't mean turning away from life. It's about making a smart choice. Follow me. Don't let up on your guard right now. In the last part of any journey, presence is more important than strength. What you are feeling is subtle, but it is important. You've come a long way, more than you know. People often lose focus at this point, not because they are weak, but because they think the hardest part is over. They stop being present in the present and start to think about the future. They are thinking too quickly about what will happen and miss the moment that shapes them. Now more than ever, being present is important. You don't need to do anything else. You need to keep an eye on things. You must keep your feet on the ground. In the last stretch, it's not just about working hard. It's about being aware. A lot of people fall here not because they aren't disciplined, but because they stopped paying attention. They let familiarity cloud their judgment. They thought that momentum would take care of everything. Momentum still needs purpose. You might feel both excited and tired at the same time. Excited about what's coming and tired from waiting so long. The two of them together can make you feel antsy. When you're restless, you move on too quickly and forget about what you still need to take care of. Use this right away in your life. Pay attention when your thoughts drift off to what's next, instead of appreciating what's here and now. Progress doesn't happen in made-up futures. It happens in the present. You can move with ease when you stay in the present. When you're mentally in a hurry, you make more mistakes. Stay here. The last stretch makes discipline better. It asks you to stick with it even after the novelty wears off. It tells you to stay true even when you feel like validation is getting closer but not quite there yet. It asks you to keep your cool when you think you're about to get a reward. This is where a lot of people lose something they almost had, not because it was taken from them, but because they stopped taking good care of it. Being present keeps you grounded in knowledge. It helps you figure out what small changes need to be made. It lets you act instead of reacting. It keeps you from correcting too much or forcing things to happen. You don't need to speed up. You don't have to say that you're coming. You need to pay attention. There are small choices that will have big effects in the future, like how you handle stress, how you deal with impatience, and how you treat others when you think you're about to make a big breakthrough. These times are important. Your reliability now proves that you are ready. You are learning how to wait without worrying, have hope without feeling obligated, and expect without feeling like you deserve it. This balance gets you ready for what's to come without making you less humble. There will be times when you want to loosen up on rules and discipline just a little, or to lose focus because you think you have already shown yourself what you can do. Pay attention. It's important to finish well. Being present also means being thankful. Being thankful grounds you. It helps you remember how far you've come and why this journey was important. It keeps your heart open and stops you from feeling entitled. Don't miss the little confirmations. Do not ignore peace and quiet. Don't forget about small alignments. These are signs that you're still on the right track. Often the last stretch feels slower, not because you're not making progress, but because you are more aware of what you're doing. You are now more aware. You pay attention to things you used to miss. Being aware of that will keep you safe. Believe it. Stop if you feel like you need to hurry. If you get sidetracked, bring your attention back to what you're doing. If you're tired, take a slow breath. Being present is not passive. You have to pay attention. Write, "I will stay present" in the comments if this part speaks to where you are now, and you choose to stay grounded instead of rushing ahead emotionally. This is your promise to walk this last stretch with awareness and wisdom. Read this message all the way through. Each part gets you ready to not only get to your goal, but to get there whole, clear, and steady. Don't forget this, my child. What comes next will meet you where you are, not where you try to be. Follow me. Do not let waiting take the place of paying attention. What I'm about to say will change the way you think about reward, so that when it comes, it doesn't throw you off track or confuse you. People often get reward wrong. Many people think it's just reward for their hard work, as if endurance automatically gives them access to praise or comfort. But real reward isn't about being liked. It's about being happy. It doesn't boost pride. Instead, it calms the spirit. You should now know the difference after all this time. You're not being rewarded because you put up with pain. You're being rewarded because you stayed aligned during it. You did more than just stay alive. You grew. If the reward comes too early, it can change the point. A reward that doesn't come with growth can make someone less mature. That's why what's coming will feel different. It won't have to make a big noise to be heard. In a good way, it will feel stable and stable. Use this right away in your life. Take note of how your wants have changed. You don't want praise as much as you used to. You don't need validation to show that you're valuable anymore. Peace, stability, and meaning are what you want. That change gets you ready for long-lasting satisfaction instead of short-term pleasure. Happiness lasts. The reward that's coming won't require you to work hard all the time to keep it. It won't ask you to give up your values in order to keep it. No one else will be able to compete or compare with you. It will match the person you've become. This is why being patient was important. It's taught you to value depth over display, substance over image, and consistency over intensity. They helped decide what kind of reward would really bless you. At times you thought that a reward meant getting out of a tough situation. A reward, on the other hand, often looks like clarity after chaos, peace after chaos, and direction after wandering. Instead of making a show, it restores balance. You are getting sustainability as a reward. That long-term stability could come from chance, stability, restoration, or influence. It could come on quietly or slowly spread out. Don't miss it just because it doesn't look exciting. Not everything that is valuable stands out. Pay close attention. There will be times when a reward makes you responsible, or when what you get requires something from you. It's not a burden, it's trust. People trust you with more now that you know how to handle less without complaining. Reward doesn't take away work. It aligns work with a purpose. You'll still get better. You'll still get used to it. You'll still learn. But the striving that used to wear you down will be replaced by a path that keeps you steady. Watch out not to compare your reward to other ones. appreciation will be skewed by comparison. What makes you happy might not make them happy. What fits with your goal might not fit with theirs. Take care of what you're given. If you look closely, you will see that the reward has already started to show up in small ways. More clarity, clearer boundaries, more peace, and more confidence. These are not welcome gifts. They're part of the reward. In due course, bigger expressions will appear. Stay thankful. Being thankful keeps your heart open. It stops feeling entitled. It helps you remember that what you've received is valuable and not something you owe. Being ready instead of impatient is a sign that you are on the right track. If you feel calm instead of rushed, you are in alignment. If you feel stable instead of restless, that means you're ready. Don't rush to receive. Do not compare when you appreciate. Keep watch without fear. Writing, "I receive with gratitude" in the comments is a sign that you are ready to accept what comes your way with humility and wisdom. If this part speaks to you and you feel like striving is giving way to fulfillment, read this message all the way through. Every part is meant to help you live a life that is not only successful, but also deeply satisfying. My child, remember this. Rewards are not for showing off. It's about living in line with what you were meant to do. Follow me. Don't let your focus slip. Right now, I want to talk to you about completion, not the kind that rushes to the end, but the kind that leaves you with strength, clarity, and peace. A lot of people begin with a passion. Fewer people end with wisdom. It's not about dramatic endings or sudden jumps to finish well. It's about doing what you say you'll do. It's about sticking with the process until the threshold instead of giving up when it gets easy. You are farther away than you think. Finishing something does not mean it is perfect. It means being whole. It means you get there without any regrets holding you back. It means you move on without carrying around unfinished business from the past. You have been learning how to finish things inside before they show up outside. You broke the cycles of doubting yourself. You stopped over-explaining patterns. You were done taking on responsibility that was never yours. These internal endings are important. Use this right away in your life. Take note of what no longer makes you feel bad. Take note of what used to make you angry, but now makes you feel calm. Without getting angry, notice what you've grown out of. That's proof that you're finishing well. Presence, not pressure, is needed for completion. There will be times when you want to move faster because you are impatient, when you are excited and want to skip steps, or when you are tired and want to take shortcuts. Hold off on that urge. What you do without thinking will come back to you later. Follow the last steps. Getting things done well also means getting rid of things that don't belong in the next season. You can't move forward with everything. There are lessons that are done. Some problems have been solved. Some identities are no longer valid. Let them go with thanks instead of anger. You're not getting rid of the past. You are putting its wisdom together. It's healthy to be honest about how far you've come without overstating how much work you still need to do. You are not almost there because you still need to work on something. You are almost there because you are almost finished refining yourself. Now is not the time to doubt your skill. Now is the time to believe in the work that has already been done. Finishing also makes things clearer when it comes to responsibility. You are taking on something that needs to be managed. If you finish well, you'll be ready for responsibility without being overloaded. You're not going to walk into chaos. You are taking charge. Pay attention to your speed now. Make sure your actions match how clear you are. Say what you believe and what you stand for. The choices you make should show who you have become. Do not hurry things that are meant to last. As you get closer to the end, you might feel things like longing, doubt, or even grief for what is ending. Feeling these ways is normal. Conclusions are always important because they mark the end of something. You can be aware of them without letting them hold you back. When you're done, you don't deny how you feel. You honor it and move on. You're not giving up who you were. By becoming who you are now, you honor that version of yourself. There will be little signs along the way that you are on the right track, and moments of peace will appear out of the blue. It's not an accident. They give you peace of mind. Pay close attention to them. If you feel less anxious and more stable, like you're getting ready for something, that's completion setting in. When fear stops being important and excitement stops being crazy, clarity steps in. That's where you are now. Say, "I will finish well," in the comments if you want to finish this season on purpose and move on without rushing. This will show that you choose completion over speed. Read this message all the way through. It's not that each part has been pushing you toward this moment. It's been getting you ready to arrive whole. Follow me. Don't just brush this off as something for later. You are already going through what I'm talking about, even if you haven't named it yet. Legacy isn't always clear. A lot of people believe it starts when things slow down or when accomplishments can be seen. But legacy doesn't wait for green light. It's quietly formed by the choices you make every day, by how you handle stress, and by how you treat other people when no one is looking. You are leaving a legacy now not through titles or praise, but through being consistent, being honest when it was easier to compromise, being patient when it would have been better to be impatient, and being strong when it would have been easier to give up. You have a right to be here at this time. You've been through times that changed you in ways that comfort could never do. What you went through taught you to care about other people. What you waited for made you more humble. What you got through taught you a lot. People with these traits don't lose them when things change. They stay with you and have an effect on everything you touch. Use this right away in your life. Watch how people react to your calm, how your stability changes tense situations, and how your words have power not because they are loud, but because they are thought out. Character comes from having this kind of influence. Legacy isn't about having a lot of people remember you. It's about making a difference in the lives of those you meet. Effect, not look, is what it's about. What you model is real, even if you never see how far it goes. Someone can learn to be patient by seeing how you wait. Someone gets brave by seeing how steady you are. Someone picks honesty because they saw you pick it without getting anything in return. This is how a legacy grows in a way that is quiet, steady, and real. You have also learned how to deal with problems without getting angry. That's important. Being angry makes the pain worse. Wisdom makes healing more powerful. Because you chose growth over resentment, you changed not only your life but also what comes after it. It's not perfect that you left behind. It is clear-cut persistence. At times you wondered if your patience was worth it, if anyone saw the decisions you made behind closed doors, or if staying true when no one was looking had any point. Yes, it did. Legacy is often hard to see as it is being made. You are not called to make the next generation proud. You are supposed to give them what they need by setting a good example, being steady, and living the truth in a quiet way. How you deal with stress, settle disagreements, and stay honest becomes your own kind of instruction. In other words, you teach even when you're not talking. You will have chances in the future to use your experiences to help other people, not by preaching, but by understanding. You can tell when someone else is having a hard time because you've been there yourself, because you were in their shoes. You will offer clarity. That's why nothing went to waste. Your wait did not take too long. There was a reason for your pain. People did notice how hard you worked. All of this is turning into wisdom that helps more than you. Be careful not to shorten your trip. What you went through changed the way you see things. What you learned will change how you love, make decisions, and lead. Authenticity, not performance, is what builds a legacy. Stay true to the person you've become. You don't have to tell people about your story. Show it by the way you live. Show it by how you treat other people. Allow it to be known by being consistent, not by explaining it. It takes humility to leave a legacy. The goal is not to be better than other people, but to walk in a way that raises what matters, like truth, peace, wisdom, and kindness. You have these with you now. You can say, "My life has purpose beyond me," in the comments, if this part helps you see your life in a bigger picture and realize that your journey is shaping more than just your future. This is your promise to live intentionally aware of the impact you carry. Read this message all the way through. There is one more part left, and it will tie everything together, not as an end, but as a beginning. Be clear in your life. Keep this close, my child. Legacy is not something you leave behind one day. It's something you believe in every day, one honest choice at a time. Follow me. Do not rush through this. What I'm saying now is not the end. There's a line there. It's the time when planning turns into doing, when understanding turns into doing, and when peace turns into striving. During times when answers were slow, clarity was patchy, and you had to find strength in places you didn't know existed, you have been put through a lot of testing. You sometimes wondered if all the work was worth it, if staying true made sense, and if the time of waiting would ever end. Please hear this carefully. You are not going forward without anything. Moving forward, you have gained wisdom through hard work. As you move forward, you have more clarity thanks to your patience. You are moving forward with peace that doesn't depend on what is going on. This is important. Do not mix up noise and confidence. Sure of yourself is quiet. It doesn't rush to make itself known. It doesn't ask for confirmation. It moves forward slowly because it is based on understanding rather than a sense of need. There is nothing left for you to prove, so you are ready. If God brought you here, He brought you here on purpose. These videos cost us everything and earn us nothing. Your support is what keeps this mission alive. Every gift, every seed, God honors it. Thank you from our whole hearts. Now, there is a place God is calling you to, a real community of chosen ones, people who pray together, grow together, and carry each other. God says, don't stay on the outside. The link is below. Come home, beloved. Use this right away in your life. Pay attention to how your choices feel different. You don't need to persuade everyone anymore. You don't feel rushed to get things done anymore. You are no longer scared of being seen. These are signs that you can now trust yourself. Being confident does not get rid of uncertainty. In it, it teaches you how to move wisely. You will still run into unknowns, though there will still be times when things become clearer slowly. They will no longer throw you off balance. One step at a time, You've learned to trust your leader. Peace will hold you up. Peace doesn't mean that there are no problems. It means that there is no inner conflict. You can act without stress, wait without worry, and make changes without getting lost. This is how you move forward from now on. Not because of stress, but because of clarity. It's not necessary to have everything figured out before you act. It's important that you stick to what you know. The direction will keep showing up as you walk, not before. Believe in the speed. Believe in the process. Believe in the growth that has already happened. There are going to be times when you see how much has changed. You will be able to handle things that used to stress you out with calm. You will react with wisdom where you used to react emotionally. You will see chances without having to go after them. This is fruit, not a mistake. You are also entering a time when your presence will be important. Not because of what you say, but because of who you are. Your calmness will speak for itself. Your morals will come through. Your peace will be heard. Don't forget how powerful that influence is. Don't be afraid that the same things will happen again. You're not the same person you were back then. Your discernment is now with you. There are limits on you. There is understanding in you. You're not beginning over. You are moving forward and are ready for what lies ahead. Keep your mind on one thing. Hold on to what really matters. When noise gets worse, go back to clarity a lot. When you have many choices, pick the smart one. Let peace tell you how fast to go. And when doubts come up, remember this. You didn't come this far just to stop at the edge. You were ready, so you could take a step forward without getting lost. If you are ready to move forward with peace and confidence, not running or running away, but slowly walking into what has been planned, type, "I step forward in peace," in the comments to show that you are ready to face this new season with trust and clarity. Before we end this series, if these words have really helped you, if they have made your thoughts clear, given you strength while you wait, and brought peace to your heart, please support this channel by liking the video, subscribing, and joining the community. That way, you can keep getting messages that guide and strengthen your life. Plus, a big thank you is a meaningful way to support and grow this work. If you feel truly encouraged and thankful for these words, and want to help others feel the same way, take this with you right now, my child. You're not going into the unknown by yourself. You are stepping into something that has been carefully planned for you. You have peace inside you and wisdom ahead of you. Move forward, stick to what you know, and do what you've been taught.